this recipe is a real Italian meets Greek, which, how can that not be delightful?
It's the Great Taylor C. Baker Show.
Hello, and welcome back to the Great Taylor C. Baker Show, where I am baking my way through the Great British Bake Off technical challenges in hopes to live up to my namesake and become a better baker. I have officially made it through season 1 of the Great British Bake Off technical challenges, and I have hopped on over to collection 9, the most recent season. I made malt loaf. Yum! It was actually really delicious, even though it sounds kind of gross. I've made sandwich jammy biscuits, which were in fact delicious. And now it is bread week. The best week of all the weeks, because bread is my favorite thing. And today we are making Paul Hollywood's Ciabatta Breadsticks. So let's learn how to make them. So our first step is going to be making our dough. Ciabatta bread is all about aeration and the bubbles inside. So we have to be really careful about how we mix it and how we add in the filling. So we're gonna make our dough sans filling and then add the filling. So let's see how to make the dough. First of all, we're gonna need 3 1/4 cups of bread flour. We are gonna tip our flour into our mixing bowl fitted with a dough hook. Then we are gonna put 1 tablespoon of salt on one side and 1 tablespoon of fast action yeast on the other side. And once we have our flour, salt, and yeast all in our mixer, we are going to add a little bit of our lukewarm water. In total, we're gonna need 2.5 cups of lukewarm water. And at this stage, we're gonna add roughly about 2 cups of the water and mix on a low speed. Gradually add our little bit of remaining water. To mix total for 5 to 8 minutes at a medium speed. Now, as you can see, the dough is pretty wet at this stage, so you definitely wanna have floured hands and floured work surfaces. And once we have this part of the dough mixed together, we are going to finally add 3 tablespoons of olive oil and continue mixing for about 3 minutes. This seems right. It says it's supposed to be very wet and stretchy. So now that we have our dough mixed, we're gonna add our fillings. And if you are a huge fan of onions, or in fact not a huge fan of onions, or not a fan of manchego cheese or olives, customize this recipe to your liking. I definitely want to give at least half my batch the full shebang, give it a try. So I am currently going to break mine into, I have 2 oil bowls. I'm gonna divide my dough into the 2 bowls and then mix in my fillings as I like for each one. So for our filling, you're gonna need 12 ounces of halved green pitted olives, 1 cup of cubed manchego cheese, 1 red onion, and 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. So here are all of my filling ingredients. I have my lovely cubed manchego cheese. The instructions said to halve your olives, but I went ahead and quartered mine because they were massive Texas-sized green olives. And then I have my red onion. And it said, oh, that is so scented. It said to use a whole red onion. This is about 3/4 of a red onion. Since I've cut this, my entire house smells of red onion. I'm gonna put my teaspoon of coriander in each. And this bigger one we'll have as our onion bowl. I just want a little bit less than that, but they all went in, so that's fine. Go ahead and seal this right back up. Lock in that really intense onion scent. And then we're gonna half and half these sweet, sweet cheeses and olives. This seems like an insane amount of filling. So gently fold it all together because we don't wanna pop all the air pockets. Bread and cheese, bread and cheese. Why are you so oniony? I've been re-watching Friends, obviously. All right, now we have our beautiful filling, nice and folded in. And now we're gonna cover them up and we're gonna wait for it to double in size. So we wanna prove it for 1 to 2 hours, as long as it takes for this pretty much to fill up. So while the magic of proving is happening and our bread is rising, we do have an opportune time to make our tzatziki. So you need 1/4 of a cucumber, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 2/3 a cup of full fat Greek yogurt, 1 small garlic clove or about 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 teaspoon of white wine vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of tzatziki seasoning. Who knew that existed? I would have thought it was just dill, which unfortunately I don't have either of those things. So I might sprinkle a little bit of pizzazz elsewhere because it was one of those sneaky items that's in the page flip in the recipe, so I didn't see it. So we're improvising a little bit. So the first thing you need to do is peel and grate your cucumber. Oh, this smells like a spa. Place your grated cucumber into a strainer. Sprinkle it with our 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just gonna get in there and mix it with my hands. And we're gonna leave our little salty cucumber to drain for about 10 minutes. And once our cucumber is drained, we're gonna put our yogurt into a bowl. Add the cucumber, garlic, olive oil, vinegar, and whatever seasoning you may have, tzatziki preferred, and fold everything together. And that's tzatziki. Just like that, 2 hours later, the magic of proving. It has definitely doubled in size. So now that our dough is risen, we are gonna do the interesting task of being really delicate about making this into breadsticks, while not popping all of the air bubbles inside of it. Well, first and foremost, I need to get my dog's hair out of the dough. And if memory serves from when I first made ciabatta bread, it's a real mess. So trying to form this into anything is going to be highly interesting. We're gonna slowly tip this out, formulate it into a long rectangle, and then cut it into strips. And I'm gonna attempt to cut it with a pizza cutter. I don't really know if this is gonna work. I may just kind of have to tear it apart and make breadstick shapes. You need to watch this happen. You can see the air bubbles. I don't really see any universe where I'm gonna be cutting this, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the decision just to place them on my baking sheet and kind of form them. So I'm just gonna kind of take a chunk of this and I'm gonna form a breadstick. All right, doughy hands. So I put 3 on each tray and we'll see if this works. Oh, my nose. My nose itches. And once we get all of our breadsticks on our trays, we're gonna cover them and leave them to prove again for 15 more minutes. And then we're gonna bake them at 475 for 15 to 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. And they're not the breadstick where you want a crisp crack, but you do want it to be able to, if you hold it up, to not wow. Come at me, little ciabatta sticks. Oh, hello, you golden brown angel-faced babies. Holy smell-o-vision. These bad boys smell so good. The test now is going to be seeing if they kind of hold their own once I take them off the paper. She's holding. That looks like a breadstick. It's not very shapely, but you saw what I was working with. These two became one. Sorry, breadsticks. I know you want to be together forever. You will end up together in all of our bellies. Well, good night, nurse. These smell amazing. So I'm going to try it as Paul Hollywood intended. I'm gonna try the one with the red onion in it. First of all, she's holding her shape, y'all. No flimsiness here. This is a mistake, but let's give it a try. I need everyone to shut up right now because this may be the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. And I can taste the onion, but it's like the essence of onion. It's not as overwhelming as the scent of raw onion is. So let's give it a try in the tzatziki. I'm gonna need like several days to process how delicious this is. The crispiness on the bottom, the delightful chunks of cheese, the olive. These are spectacular. Thank you so much for watching The Great Taylor C. Baker Show. Be sure to hit subscribe and tune in every Thursday when I post new videos of my baking misadventures. And I invite you to follow along with my show, bake along with me. And if you bake any of the things from my show, highly recommend that you bake these bad boys. Please tag me at Taylor C. Baker and use the hashtag #BakeWithBaker. BakeWithBaker. So I can follow along with all of your baking adventures. Cheers.
It's the Great Taylor C. Baker Show.